Right there, you're giving us a fantastic perspective of just how deep this water still is. If at least 2, maybe 3 people in a boat can maneuver down the streets of this subdivision, it's very, very deep still.
Exactly, and to give you a gauge, I mean, you can see some cars that are completely submerged in a cul-de-sac, and those little dots that you see, the black and white dots, those are mailboxes. Now, the average mailbox stands, what, maybe 3.5, 4 feet max? So that gives you some idea of how deep it is here.
Now, right there's the top of that white vehicle.
Look at that.
That you can see, and the tops of those mailboxes in this subdivision. And as everyone knows, the streets of I think this subdivision in particular go up and down, so some areas are a bit lower than others. And as Julie was saying, very small children, you really have to watch them in these situations because you can lose them very, very quickly, as sadly we have already reported from Shelby County.
All right, let's go to Ken Schultz, who has some developing things in the weather situation. Ken?
Well, Gary, Melissa, we're talking about the extension of the flash flood warning, and we just got off the line with the National Weather Service, and indeed they're going to extend the flash flood warning for basically the entire Louisville metropolitan area, all of north central Kentucky, including the Indiana counties of Clark, Crawford, Floyd, and Harrison. Again, flash flood warnings until 9 o'clock this evening. Things are quiet right now, but we do have another batch of heavy rain that's beginning to push up into southern Breckenridge County, also into Grayson County, and that's going to be pushing up towards the Louisville area here within the next half hour to 45 minutes. So our light rain right now, even some areas not getting any rain. Rain intensity is going to be picking up here in the next half hour to 45 minutes. Another bout of heavy rain pushing through. Flash flood warning continues until 9 o'clock for virtually all of the metro area, and the possibility for some more heavy rain overnight and early tomorrow. We'll talk about that in more detail in just a few more minutes.
All right, Ken, I had called my family in Crawford County earlier today to see what the situation was there. Not nearly as bad as it is here, but from what Ken is saying, that those folks now can expect at least a little more rain in that area as we are expanding the flash flood watch for this area, which has already had way, way too much. From Sky 11, you can still see Julie Koenig is hovering over the Glengarry subdivision, and people trying to work as they race daylight at this point, because it's going to be getting dark and they won't be able to stay in those houses much longer. Julie, can you see people from your vantage point trying to get in and get out? Do they look like they're trying to salvage things in case things do get worse?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of activity still. There's almost 2 or 3 houses where people are going in and out on each part of these various cul-de-sacs and the avenues or roadways beneath us. Yeah, there's a couple that just went into a house not too far from where that we showed you that submerged white car. Kind of an interesting thing is that the way this particular subdivision is laid out, as you can notice, it's like the houses are kind of up out of the water, but the roads that connect them all are submerged. And I don't know if that's because water has gone down a bit since the morning hours. Some of the houses are completely submerged. Others seem to be out, but probably believe that there's some water in basements and such. And they will have an awful lot to clean up because I don't know if Louisville is real familiar with flooding. I grew up in a town that is, and it doesn't really take very much time for floodwaters like that to do serious damage, especially to older homes if you have linoleum or things like that. I mean, you just basically have to tear it up and start from scratch. Or a lot of the homes have hardwood floors, you know, that's just hundreds and thousands of dollars of damage that can happen to a neighborhood. And certainly a lot of money is going to be put into helping these families restore what this water has taken away on this afternoon.
Now, Julie, Ken Schultz was talking about the sponge factor, and I think a house is like a sponge. It just sort of soaks the water up. It goes right up the walls. Just a foot of water in a house can cause a lot of damage.
Well, a lot of the homes, it's funny because homes in flood areas, sometimes the homeowners put little marks on the side. Well, this was the flood of '82, this was the flood of '89 and such, and you can probably see some wet lines on homes down there as well if you were a little bit closer to them. But your heart really goes out to these folks because I know what they were going to have to deal with in the morning and in the weeks to come. And
the cleanup is just...
The cleanup is unbelievable, and I don't think I'd want to be an insurance adjuster about this time because you're looking at a long, long month ahead.
And there you have a spectacular but very sad vantage point of what's happening in that subdivision. tonight and today, and as we cannot tell you enough that we are expecting more rain in this area, and the flood may intensify, it may get worse. We continue to watch that. We're hoping it doesn't develop, but it may well.
So we will continue to follow this. We're in the first hour of 2 hours special coverage of the flood of '97. We'll be back with more news in a moment.